We're excited because one of the most popular headphones in the whole Meze range is joined by a new and improved version, the 99 Classics V2. There are three things that changed here. It's got the same look, by the way, as the original. I mean, cosmetically, these are almost identical. But with that classic look retained, number one, it's got a slightly re-engineered hardware approach. Number two, it's got a slightly different sonic signature. If there was something that people complained about a little bit here, some folks found the bass to be a little bit too heavy. This is more linear. And number three, it's got some nice accessories. I'm Joe with Gramophone. Let's dig in. So let's give you a little spoiler alert right out of the gate. This is a little bit more money. The V2 is actually priced at $349, whereas this was priced at $309. But in our view, the V2 is absolutely worth that extra money. Sometimes we'll have a product that sells really well and it just simply goes up in price by 10% or so. This goes up in price by 10%, but the benefits, in our view, are absolutely worth it. So here's some of the details you need to know about Meze 99 Classic V2. The first one is that it's got a really cool look, very much like the original. This is a over-the-ear, closed-back headphone. So think if you're maybe in bed and you're listening to some music and your spouse is reading next to you, you won't be disturbing your spouse at all. It also, I think, has this cool look. These are walnut, like real wood, ear cups. And to me, that classes it up nicely, especially when you have it juxtapositioned against these gold accessorizing parts here. I love the look of this phone. It is maybe a little bit retro. Some folks might not like that, but I think it's really pretty stylish. And a cool bit is that the ear pads are replaceable. They easily come off, and let's face it, over time, that's one of the parts of a headphone that will eventually get worn out. So the next thing is this is very lightweight and comfortable, a strong thing for me because to me, if you put on a headphone and it's not comfy, you're not going to want to wear it. But this is lightweight, it goes easily over my ears and I've got fairly large ears. These are nice and soft. And I really appreciate this detail where this just very simple system means that if you have a larger head than I do, it's going to easily conform to your head, no issues. So third, this feels like a solidly built headphone. Now, Meze made the point to us that this is a screw-based system. They don't use a whole lot of glue in assembling this. That's really kind of important because headphones do obviously get, if you use them a lot, they're going to get wear and tear over time. And with a system that's based on having screws, the service person can really easily get in there and get it fixed, which is not true in a glue-based system. Good build quality for this price range. The next part is also really important, especially in a, let's say, under $500, relatively more affordable headphone. It's pretty efficient. This is a 16 ohm headphone. It's rated at 103 dB efficiency. That's important because you don't necessarily need a separate headphone amp to be able to get significant volume out of this. With some headphones that are really great sounding, you virtually have to have a headphone amp, not just the one that comes in your receiver or whatever, but we think you're going to be able to get these to very satisfying levels, just plugging straight into a receiver or even just plugging into your smartphone or your iPad. Another bit that for some folks is really important is, can you use this as a travel phone? Well, it's obviously not super small and compact, but it's really pretty lightweight. We already have said that it's a very comfortable phone, so you could use it, let's say, on an 8-hour flight to Europe. And because this is a nice ruggedly built case, we give it a thumbs up for its travel factor. Now let's talk sound, which is obviously very key for any product like this. This has been very popular in that pretty close to $300 price range because it's got a nice, rich, warm-sounding bass without being real bloated or tubby. Having said that, for some folks, the bass was a little too much. I think with this new one, they've really nailed it because the bass here is, I think you're going to find it to be, again, kind of warm and rich and really pleasant to listen to, but there's just a little bit less of that mid-bass emphasis than what you had in the original. So there's a song called Raiders of the Symphony, and that's the Danish Symphony doing a Raiders of the Lost Ark style, a rendition of those songs that were on Raiders of the Lost Ark. When we listened to it, what we found was that, first off, drums really sounded like drums. Nice, tight, percussive. Maybe more importantly, the horns and the strings weren't fighting each other at all. The blend was really good. So overall, I would say this is a more linear sound presentation, and to my ears, a superior sound presentation to what you have in the 99 Classic, without losing any of that fun, enjoyable to listen to sonic signature that has made this so popular. At Gramophone, we really appreciate sharing our passion with your passion. Thanks for coming along for the ride. If you haven't so far, please like and subscribe and click that little bell icon so you're always notified of our upcoming content. So maybe one more comment about the bass, because it's really quite satisfying here. When we listened with Queen's song Don't Stop Me Now, the remix version they came out with maybe 15 years ago, I guess it is, John Deacon's bass sounded clear and clean and present and just like you'd want the bass to sound, at least for a product in this kind of price range. I don't think that there's any loss of bass really between this one and the original, but the V2 just sort of seems to get the balance a little bit more correct, more right sounding. Now, something that Meze did in the V2 that I think is really, really smart, remember that this has been a tremendously popular set of headphones, and some people really like that slightly more fat kind of a bass presentation. If so, they've decided to include some acoustic absorbers, they call them. All you need to do, if you want a bass presentation that's a little bit more like this one, is to take off the ear pads, place the acoustic absorbers in a little groove that they've got inside, reattach the ear pads, and now you've got a bass presentation that's a little bit more like the original. So you can literally have your cake and eat it too. Bravo, Meze. Another aspect that people always like to listen to with headphones is the soundstage. In other words, does it sound like the musicians are kind of right there with you? Can you clearly differentiate, oh, the horns are over here and the violins are over here? Or not so much. Soundstage for this general price range I think is really quite good. I would describe this for the price as a very versatile phone. Whether you like to listen to sort of quiet acoustic music or easy smooth jazz or pounding rock and roll, I think this is a product that, again, even a little bit better than the original, can go to almost any type of genre and you're going to be very happy with it. So let's talk about the accessories that come with the Meze 99 Classic version 2. We've already talked about this lightweight but strong case for the headphones. You also get this nice little pouch which includes these accessories. So here we've got a USB-C to 3.5 millimeter dongle. Very good. This is almost 6 foot of optical fiber cable that's wrapped in Kevlar. Now remember that Kevlar is very lightweight and very strong, so that's nicely done. But again, you may want to do some traditional listening, so they give you a traditional headphone jack, and bang, now you're good to plug into your receiver or integrated amp. In conclusion, at Gramophone, we think that Meze's 99 Classic V2 is a stone cold winner. One of the things that makes the version 1 so popular is that people describe it as a really fun headphone to listen to. We think that they've retained that fun aspect of listening. It's a very enjoyable product to listen to, but they've made it just a little bit more neutral, a little bit more accurate, a little bit better sonic signature. This is maybe not the right headphone for you if you want something that's super incredibly accurate to mix albums with, but if that's your task, you're probably spending a lot more money than this anyway. For that general $300 to $400 price range, this strikes us as a winner. We really appreciate you watching this video, and we'd love to meet with you if you can. So we've got stores in Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, Maryland. We'd love to have you stop in and actually take a listen to this and maybe some of the other headphones as well to see what you think. You can also always go to skybygramophone.com to find out more information about Meze and all of our great brands, and you can purchase the product through Sky, where you're always going to get a secure checkout with fast and free shipping straight to your door. Thanks again for watching this video. We really appreciate you coming along for the ride. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.